Yo. Welcome into the ChrisBeCappinn Show, man. Today is Black Friday, November 28th, whatever you want to call it. There are games on the board for the NBA today. So we're going to jump right into it. Bunch of games on the board in the NBA for today as well. As far as we always do a quick recap before we move forward. As far as we didn't have any games yesterday. As far as Wednesday went, I talked about on the show that I had bet Detroit. I never sent Detroit out because the line had moved so much. So I'm not going to count that on my official record. I did take a loss with that play. But the two plays that I sent out to the members, both were winners. Miami first half minus the 4.5 was a winner. They were able to get the job done against the Bucks in the first half, not necessarily for the full game. And then we bet Indiana plus the 10.5. I told you guys I like that one on the show as well. So 2-0 day, or you could say a 2-1 day. I didn't send out Detroit against Boston. And if you watched the full show and you took all the plays from the short list, I think it was 5-3. So made money either way. Hopefully you guys were able to do so as well. We're going to jump into it, man. We'll get into it for today. What's up, Jay Sunshine? Appreciate you for tapping in. What's up, Cheese Boy? Appreciate you for tapping in. I found Win says happy Thanksgiving to y'all from PH. Appreciate that, man. Right back at you. Let's jump into it for the games for today. So first up, we'll start with JaXon, AI Sports Betting Tool. Link is in the description if you guys are interested in checking it out. JaXon went 1-1 on Wednesday. Wiggins over his points plus rebounds was a loser. He didn't really do much in that game. And I talked about, Tyler Hero being back, limiting, his usage. So that was a loser. But JaXon also liked Jaden McDaniels. That's who it was. Jaden McDaniels over, I think his rebounds and assist line was 6.5, with what JaXon gave out. He finished with 9. So 1-1 day for JaXon on Wednesday. Asked JaXon the same prompt for the day, but I switched it up just a tad bit. I wanted to also include defense first position. So the prompt that I typed in on JaXon was, what are the best 2-player props on the board for today based on this season stats and trends in the NBA? Also consider defense first position. So JaXon likes, the first one is Dylan Harper over his points plus rebounds. Says the line is minus 122 on FanDuel, it looks like right now. So it says, when it gets to the analysis, it says statistical trends in production. He's averaging 16.9 points plus rebounds on the season, 13 points and 3.9 rebounds. His recent performance is right in line with these numbers, averaging 16.2 over his last 5 games. Both figures are well above the 13.5 line. He has a 71% hit rate this season, 60% hit rate last 5 games. And it says it's a favorable matchup. Denver ranks 20th in defense versus position for this combo of points plus rebounds. So that is the first look. The second look is actually Jalen Tyson of the Cleveland Cavaliers. His points plus rebounds, 11.5, taking the over for JaXon here. So it says that he's in a really good matchup today. His recent production has spiked dramatically due to the Cavaliers' extensive injury list, making this line look far too low. So he's averaging 19.8 points plus rebounds over his last 5 games, 19.4 points plus rebounds over his last 10 games. It's a massive jump from the 15.93 points plus rebounds. And significantly higher than the 11.5 line for today. I actually like this one. Hit rate, he's over 80% of his last 5 games, 90% of his last 10. The Cavaliers are missing pieces like Max Strus and Sam Merrill. This will force Tyson into a larger role, evidenced by his minutes taken up to 27.8 per game over the last 3 contests. The increased usage is a primary driver for the recent success. So I like this one. Jalen Tyson, I might actually play this over his points plus rebounds at 11.5 against the Atlanta Hawks today. So that's what we got on the board. Let's jump into it for today, man. Tons of games. I'm not going through all of them, but I'll give you guys my looks and what I got in my notes for every single one of them. So we start with this Magic and Pistons game. This line actually opened at 5.5. Detroit was laying 5.5 coming back home. Line is all the way down to 3 is consensus, but I do see some 2.5s out there as well. It's interesting. Orlando is taking a lot of money. Total hasn't really moved a lot. 230. Let's see what I wrote in my notes yesterday. I wrote 236.5. So it's come down a lot. And then now it's actually going back up because it was 236.5. I saw yesterday it was down to like 234.5. Now it's all the way back up. looks like it's ticking back up to 232 after coming down as low as 231.5. So those are the notes as far as total goes. Injury report really quickly. I think the Magic injury report is still the same. No Franz and no Paolo, of course. I'm sorry, no Mo Wagner and no Paolo. Franz will be in there. And then Detroit, Ivy listed as questionable. Of course, no Sasser, and Kiltman is also remains out for the Detroit side of things. So Orlando does, there's some favorable things to like for Orlando in this spot. They have revenge, double-digit in-season revenge. They lost, got smoked in that last game when they played 135 to 116 was the score, and they were a 2-point dog in that game. And you also like that if you like Orlando, you like that they have the rest advantage in this game as well. They didn't play on Wednesday, they played on Tuesday, and they smoked the Philadelphia 76ers by 30-something. But Detroit's been good. And Detroit, first game back home, coming off the loss, they had a chance to set the franchise record for 14 straight wins. 6-2 at the crib so far this season. They're coming off a really bad loss against the Boston Celtics, and it's the first leg of a back-to-back. I think they play against the Miami Heat tomorrow. So the way I think about the game is, I watched that game, the early start game against the Boston Celtics on Wednesday. Watched that game pretty much from start to finish. And Detroit didn't play their best basketball. They also really struggled to guard the three-point line. I'm not going to buy into the hype that Orlando is this really great three-point shooting team. I think they hit 13 threes in their last game. Finished with, I think they finished 37% from the three-point line, which they've done a couple times this season. I'm just more of the mindset that Detroit is the better team, that Detroit can win this game, that they do want to play, and go to the Cup. They've been really, really good in Cup games until that last one. So we think about this from a Cup perspective. If Detroit wins, they'll have the same record as Orlando. They'll both be 3-1, and then they'll own the tiebreaker over Orlando as well, which will supersede the point differential, which Orlando would own unless Detroit wins this game by 28 points. So I think Detroit goes all out today. I like Detroit minus the 2.5. And then maybe, you take Miami tomorrow with Detroit, playing tomorrow against Miami. So, and having to travel to Miami as well. And Miami actually has the day off in this game. So I think that's the way you could look at this game is Detroit today, Detroit today, and Miami tomorrow. I think Orlando loses this game. That's my thought process. I was looking into player props. Nothing really jumped out to me. I'm just, like I said, I'm just at a mindset that Orlando's not going to shoot the ball that well. Philly's defense is Swiss cheese, especially if they're going to be missing, BJ Edgecombe and those type of players. And I think that's where Orlando thrived in that game. Detroit's a much better defensive team, and I think they'll show it in this game. So that's my thought process. Let's see what you guys are thinking. We'll keep moving to the next one. Hyper May says, good morning, Chris. Appreciate you. Appreciate you right back, my brother. Appreciate you right back. What's up, Los? Says, what up, though, Chris? Ready to make some bread? Absolutely. Absolutely. Beyonce says, what's good, Chris? Happy Thanksgiving. Let's run up a bag. Absolutely. What's up, Ryan? Says, good morning, Chris. Can you ask JaXon to pick a winner on the side and see how it does in a full week? Yeah, I could do that. Maybe we'll start on Monday. We'll start on Monday. I'll track it. I'll put it another little spreadsheet where I track my plays. And yeah, I can do that. What's up, Peter? Appreciate you for tapping in. Brian says Detroit -3 bounce back after a loss over 232. I consider both. Dom says good morning, Chris and chat. Magic team total under 115.5 looks very appealing. I couldn't talk you off of that, Dom. So a couple things I looked at, but I didn't want to talk too much on this game. I looked at Detroit off a loss this season. They're 2-0 straight up and against the spread, won each game by margin. One of the games actually came against Orlando earlier as well. And I think it's a little bit of a bounce back spot. Orlando's been very, very inconsistent. Like they'll have a great defensive game and then they'll give up 138 to the Boston Celtics. And then they'll have a terrible offensive game and then they'll come back and drop 130. So they're still playing super fast. Detroit is a really good defensive team, but I feel like they've been winning more with their offense. I thought about this game. I haven't really been betting a lot of totals, maybe a team total, but I haven't really been betting a lot of totals for the NBA just because things can be so Jekyll and Hyde this early in the season. And you also just don't know how, Thanksgiving is going to affect these teams. I typically like to play the road team in Thanksgiving Day games because they have less to, kind kind of manage as far as family and turkey and all the other expectations. But I'm not betting Orlando in this game. It'd be Detroit or nothing for me in this one. Paul says I'm on the Magic. Pistons are frauds. Okay, thinking the opposite of me. Bounce back spot for my Warriors too. Warriors don't even play today. Detroit -2. Zach, yeah, that's what I like too. What's up, Blunt? He says first game home after the road trip is usually a flash spot, Chris. I agree with this, Blunt. I agree. But then when I think about this, right, because it's a 5-game road trip for Detroit. I think it was 5 or 4-game road trip for Detroit. I thought about this, and then first thing I thought about was, does it really matter when you're coming off a loss? Does it really matter when you felt like you probably should have won that game? Cade Cunningham missed, of course, the game. He shot 3 free throws. He just needed the third one to tie, and he missed it. Derek White absolutely went bonkers from the three-point line in the fourth quarter. I think he hit a couple pull-up threes that, I mean, it literally just didn't touch anything. It was pretty good defense as well. And then I also think about the cup in general. Detroit has been really, really good in cup play. So it's not a typical, first game back home, in my opinion, Blunt. And I think if they would have won that game, I think this could have been a little bit of a letdown spot against Orlando, but they lost that game. So I'm expecting them to be fired up in this one. And for me, that supersedes the flat spot. All right, let's move to the next one. Cavs and the Hawks. So Hawks are getting 5.5 at the crib. Looks like this line is moving to 6 now. Total has come down from 238.5 down to 236.5. This game is gross in my opinion. All right, so we start with the injury report. Cleveland has Jared Allen listed as probable. Craig Porter Jr. is listed as questionable. And then Dean Wade's been upgraded to questionable. Sam Merrill's out. And then Max Strus continues to be out. On the Atlanta side of things, just Trae Young. You still be without Trae Young. I didn't get a chance to read about – I really wanted to read about this game. Both teams coming off losses. Cleveland, of course, got smoked by Toronto last time that they played. And then Atlanta lost to the Washington Wizards the last time we saw them in action, which they have a lot of rest because they hadn't played since what was that, like Monday? So Cleveland has 3 days of rest coming off the loss to the Raptors. The Cleveland Cavaliers are only 3-7 against the spread in their last 10, 3-5 against the spread on the road as well. So they haven't been covering on the road. They haven't been covering overall. Then you got the Atlanta Hawks coming off 2 days rest. Terrible loss to the Wizards. Atlanta has played some very like really weird travel spots. So they played going backwards. They played on the road in Washington, in DC. Then they were at home before that. Then they were on the road, at home, and then 4 straight road games before that. So they've been traveling a lot. Atlanta's been traveling a whole lot. They're only 2-5 against the number for whatever reason at home so far this season as well. And it's a revenge spot for Atlanta. They lost 117-109 as a 6.5 point road dog at the beginning of the month on the 2nd. So it's a spot where I don't know, man. I think you get a little bit of a bounce back spot from Atlanta. I typically like it taking Atlanta as dogs. I considered the over in this game. I know Atlanta's been playing a little bit better defense before they ran into the Washington Wizards, who scored 135 points against them. I would expect Atlanta to come out and play a little bit of defense. I kind of want to lean with the home dog in this spot, man. I kind of do. I think it could be a bounce back spot for Cleveland, but I think Atlanta should be able to keep this one within 2 possessions for the full length of the game, in my opinion, especially coming off that embarrassing loss to the Wizards. So Cavs just got a lot of, pieces just in and out, trying to get players back. Like, that's the way I kind of think about this game. I think 6 is too many. I don't agree with the line moving to 6.5. I think I'd be putting my money on Atlanta. Probably not a game that I'm going to bet. I like the Jalen Tyson look though. I think he'll get ample opportunity in this game, regardless of the spread. And as far as the total goes, Atlanta, this total's coming down. Atlanta had been playing really good defense until the Wizards hit them for 135 points in that last game. I know they also gave up 130 points, I think, to the San Antonio Spurs recently as well. So they haven't been playing really good. I would expect them to show up in this game and not look like they did in DC the other day. So I don't know. I really don't know what to do with this one too much. I think Atlanta, if I'm playing the spread, though, I'm betting Atlanta. Let's see what you guys are thinking. Dude said that was a tough loss for Detroit, but a great run. Bless up. Hope everybody Thanksgiving was great. Appreciate you, dude. Right back at you. Peasy likes Donovan Mitchell over his 28.5 points. I talked about it before. I'm willing to lay whatever as long as Garland is in. Mitchell is not a point guard, bro. I hate when Garland's out. Put the ball in his hands too much. I agree. I do agree with that. Dude says money line Hawks, and that 5.5 tells they keep it close. So money line for me. Let's get it done. Atlanta owes me for watching the Wizards game. Yeah, so I'm reading right now. I was just looking for the quotes, and so one came out. It's from Mohamed Gato. Like he plays off the bench for Atlanta. He says so just kind of flesh it out and focus on the next one, and just do what we do next time. We play defense. We pride ourselves on that. Just from the jump, just show them we're here. Dyson Daniels added, we've got to learn from this, but we've got to scrape it quick and move on to the next one. So I think that they will. I think they'll flush that. It was not a great show. You can't give up that many points to the Wizards, man. What's up, 77 Biggest? He said Cavs minus 5.5. Hawks gave up 140 to the Wizards. I'm sour on the Hawks right now. A little bit of a bounce back spot for them, I think. Atlanta, but after Washington game is difficult. If it was still 7.5, I'd be on it. So it is moving to 6.5. If you like the Hawks, you can get a plus 6.5 on BetMGM right now. It's gonna have a little juice attached to it, but it is moving to 6.5. We'll see where it moves. Hawks have Porzingis. Onyeka Okongwu can play power forward and center as well. Gay can play center. I mean, the Cavs don't got that many bigs, in my opinion. They got Jared Allen. Evan Mobley can play the 5 as well. Kui says he'll take Donovan Mitchell over his 3.5 threes. Cavs money line if Jared Allen plays. He is supposed to play. What's up, Mark? Yeah, it's kind of crazy. All right, let's keep moving. Next game up, Bucks and the Knicks. New York Knickerbockers back at the crib after a little road trip. So open. See what I wrote in my notes yesterday. I wrote 7.5 up to 8. 8.5 out there, 7.5 out there. Total has come down. Yesterday I wrote 235.5. I wrote 235 in my notes. It's down to 232 and a half on most books. There is a 231.5 on BetMGM. And this is probably all predicated on, if Giannis is going to play. So Giannis is listed as questionable. He's not played in the last 4 or 5 games. No Kevin Porter Jr. He's supposed to be ramping up in practice sometime soon, but he hasn't been playing. Torian Prince continues to be out. OG and Landry Shamet continue to be out for the New York Knicks as well. So you got the Knicks. So hold on, let's start with the Bucks. So the Bucks actually found a way to cover, and they did it with defense, not even with offense. I don't think about this Bucks team being a good defensive team, but they did get a cover against Miami. Almost won that game. This is the first leg of a back-to-back. Milwaukee has not been good in their last few games, as we know. Just 3-5 against the spread on the road. 6 straight losses. I think if they lose this game, it'll be 7 straight losses and the longest losing streak since 2014. And that's kind of crazy. 11 years, it'll be 11-year losing streak. The Bucks, I expect to kind of bring it in this game. We'll see if Giannis actually plays. On the New York side of things, they got in-season double-digit revenge. They lost to the Bucks the last time that they played, lost by 10 as a 2-point home dog, as a 2-point road dog, I think it was, or 2-point road favorite. I think they were laying 2 on the road. And the last 3 meetings between these two teams have gone over the total. So you got the New York Knicks coming back home. They smoked the Charlotte Hornets in their last game, first game home after the 5-game road trip. The Knicks have been really, really good on the road. So, at home. So they just got 2 covers back to back. They beat Brooklyn and Charlotte, 2 very easy games. They are 8-1 against the number at the crib. Offenses look like butter. It's smooth. Super smooth. The New York Knicks, I think, got an offensive rating of 124 when I was looking at it earlier in their home game so far this season. So back-to-back covers, back-to-back unders. Defense has been playing a little bit better, even without OG. I kind of agree with the total going down. I think this is a little bit more of an under game. We'll see what happens if Giannis actually plays. If Giannis doesn't play, I think you could look at the Bucks team total under as well. 113.5 is a big number. I think it is starting to trickle down to like 112.5. As far as cup play goes, I forgot to mention this. Both teams have something to play for as far as cup goes. The Knicks win, and they're tied with Miami for the best record in the cup in their group. And they'll own the tiebreaker because they did beat Miami. I think it was 2 weeks ago. And then Milwaukee wins, and which I don't think they're gonna win. But if Milwaukee does win, they'll also be tied with Miami, but they don't own the tiebreaker because they lost to the Miami Heat in their most recent game on Wednesday. So there are, cup implications. Teams, fighting for wild card position. And all three of them can't go though. Like both of these teams and the Knicks can't go, and the Miami Heat can't go, and they're all in the same cup. So if Giannis does not play, like I said, I think it's the Milwaukee team total under spot. On the road, they're the fifth worst offensive rated team in the league, just a 110 offensive rating. And in last 5 games, they've been the second worst offensive rated team, averaging just 108 points per game. So as long as they don't get hot from the 3-point line, which we know that they can, the Knicks can give up threes for sure. But if they don't get hot from the 3-point line, Knicks defense should smother them in this spot. I still expect the Bucks to play hard on the defensive end, and we saw them limit the Miami Heat in that most recent game. So I think the under is the right side, maybe even a Milwaukee team total under. That's my thoughts in this game. I consider Brunson points is at 30.5. It's a little too rich for my blood. I consider his assists, thinking that, they may try to take the ball out of his hands. I couldn't get there with the 7.5 either. I talked about Karl Anthony Towns under his 12.5 rebounds in the last game. He did stay under at 10 against the Charlotte Hornets. Considered that, but the Bucks aren't the greatest rebounding team. So it was a lot of ways that I wanted to play in this game. I just couldn't get there with anything. So I didn't bet anything in this one. Like I said, lean towards the under, maybe a Bucks team total under though. Good morning, Adam. Mark says Atlanta on pause for me. Checo, Yeko, Kongu threes. 3-pointers made. I'll look at that in just a second. Matter of fact, I'm gonna flag this. So I'll see it. Kuzma under his points. He don't even touch 10. Who is this? YT, the legend, Nate the legend. Okay, I'll look at that. Happy holidays right back at you. Okay, watch this. Appreciate you for tapping in, bro. All right, let's move on to the next one. We got the what else did I want to talk about? The Suns and the Thunder, 15.5 point spread. Is 15.5 too many based on the way that the Suns have been hooping? Well, it opened at 14. Somebody's betting it up. 14.5 is up to 15.5 now. We look at the injury report. The Phoenix Suns will be it won't be whole. Continuing to miss Ryan Dunn, continue to miss Grayson Allen, and Jalen Green is also continues to be out, of course. But these were all 3 pieces that they were missing in Sacramento in their last game as well. They went in and smoked the Sacramento Kings, held them to, I think, like 100 points, 101 points. But this is a different beast, right? OKC at the crib. They get Jalen Williams back in this spot. He's making his season debut as well. So just, Aaron Wiggins and Topic on the injury report for Oklahoma City. They playing their 3rd straight home game. They've won, I don't even know how many games they won in a row. I know it's more than 10. 7-3 to the under in the last 10 games. Defense has just been absolutely immaculate. And for the Phoenix Suns, first game of a back-to-back. This is 4th and 6th nights. They got to go fly back home tonight to host the Denver Nuggets tomorrow. But this is cup play, right? So both teams are undefeated in cup play. Phoenix is actually undefeated. Both teams are 3-0. OKC is a plus 71 as far as point differential. Phoenix is a plus 35 after beating the Sacramento Kings in that most recent game. So this total is starting to, let's see, where did it go? Yeah, it's starting to come down, and I would agree with it. So here's the thing with OKC. I watched them play against Minnesota in that last game, and they didn't cover the number. But defensively, man, they are so good. Remember, I talked about if you guys watched the last show, I talked about Minnesota team total under. I think it was 109.5. I forgot to bet it. I really wanted to bet it, but I talked about like how good OKC's defense is at home. They're giving up 103 points per game at the crib, winning by average of 17.5 points. So even if they don't score the basketball, because they only got to 113 in their last game, they stayed under their team total by 5.5 points, but they still held the Minnesota Timberwolves to 105. So they've given up 105, 95, 99, 92, 102 in their last 4 games. That's Warriors, Lakers, Kings, Trailblazers, Timberwolves in their last 5 games. The team total for the Suns is 106.5, and I think that they can absolutely, be held underneath that number. They're, getting a much bigger step up in class in this game. They're getting a much bigger step up in class. This is not the Sacramento Kings, where you can go out there and, score the basketball. We saw the Suns get absolutely stifled one game before they played against the Kings, and they were at home. They scored just 92 points in that game against the Rockets. So I agree with this total coming down. I think defensively they could be, I think they could be try to be a pest to the Thunder's offense as well. Suns have played in 4 straight unders. I feel like on the road, their offense hasn't been as great. They have been covering numbers. This is a big, big number. But regardless of the number, I think that it's a little bit more of an under game. Suns, not terrible defensively. I feel like they're top 10 defensive rated team. OKC, to win by 16 is a lot. I don't think I want to lay that. But it's kind of telling. I'm going to try and figure out why is the number so big. I thought they would be laying 11.5. Not 14.5 and pushing it to 15.5. Books are anticipating a blowout. Suns aren't that bad on the road, right? I feel like they're not that bad on the road. They've covered 4 straight games on the road. They won off 4 as well. Clippers, Mavs, Trailblazers, Kings, all teams that are struggling to even be considered for the playoffs right now. Maybe they just run out of gas because they got the Denver Nuggets tomorrow. Maybe Coach Ott, try to preserve some of his players, and this one is over before it actually starts. I got to figure out a way to play it. I feel like whenever OKC is at home, I typically want to find a way to take an under. Team total under, full game under, somebody on the opposing team points under. I want to find a play in this game. I wrote down Phoenix team total under. It's 105.5, I think is the number. That's on my short list for today. Let's see what you guys are thinking here. We go to the next one. Chris says, I'm going to take the Bucks with the points after Knicks coming off the road trip. Good morning, Lightbearer. Appreciate you for tapping in. What's the odds of OKC breaking the Warriors regular season wins? I think it's pretty high. I think it's pretty high, man. It don't even look like their B team is better than most starting 5s just because they play so hard. Even on the road, they may not cover, but I'm not. OKC is a well-oiled machine, man. Adam says Booker under his 24.5 points. This might be it. I was thinking about this, right? So if we go look, let's go over to Outlier really quick. Let's look at this, Adam. I could see this, especially with him having a game tomorrow back at the crib. Devin Booker on the road, maybe a little bit of a letdown. Let's see. All right, so Devin Booker on the road. Let's see. Link in the description if you guys want to check out Outlier as always. So Devin Booker under 2.5 threes is super juiced though. So I don't want to see that. All right, points. Ooh. Wow. All right. So this just shows that he's only over in 3 of his last 10 games. He's only scored 25 points or more, averaging 22.7 in those games. Minutes are there. So it's not like he's been in foul trouble. 39, 38, 37, 34. Only shooting 41%. Only shooting 21% from the 3-point line. He hasn't hit 3 threes in, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's been 7 games since the last time he hit 3 threes. And we know OKC is really good defensively. You can see that right here. Giving up just 105 points per game. Ranked number 1. Against the shooting guard, they have struggled. We saw Anthony Edwards just get 30, right? He just got 30. SGA had 40, right? So they have struggled against shooting guards specifically. Let's go back and look at Devin Booker as far as his head-to-head. Last 3 head-to-head meetings against the Oklahoma City Thunder, he has had 12, 19, and 20 points. And it's the first leg of a back-to-back, which means he could play less minutes tonight. I like this. I like this a lot. Devin Booker under 24.5 points. Under 24.5 points. What's his assists at that? 6.5. He had 14 the last time they played. 3 and 4 in the other games. We flip back to this season. He's over his assists 63% of the time, averaging right at 6.89. You round up. If we look at road games, he's averaging north of 7. OKC does not give up a ton of assists. You can see that they are 10th against the shooting guard position. Overall, it's second. They give up the second fewest assists. So maybe we combine these together. We take Devin Booker under his points plus assists. He's under in, this is all of this season, right? Yeah, this is all of this season. Under in 5 straight games. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 straight games. Head to head. Under in 2 of his last 3. Go back to this season. Look at road games. Averaging 32. This is not your average defense, though. Under in 3 of his last 4 here. Yeah, I could get behind Devin Booker under. I could definitely get behind that. I might even play that, Adam. I was going to fade somebody. I feel like you got to fade somebody. My thought process. OKC, well-oiled machine, man. Don't matter who out there. Let's see. I like this look from Adam, though. Took Phoenix early, but I'm going to pass. Take Phoenix early, but I'm going to pass. Okay, watch it says. B-House says, give me the Suns plus the points here. It is a lot of points, man. Can't bet against the Bucks in NBA Cup games. They lost one and didn't cover in that last one, though. Finally. Mark says, Chris, is Moneyballer coming up for you? Not loading for me this morning. Yeah, I've been on it. I've been using it since I think I got about 7:15. I think I was already on Moneyballer. Maybe even earlier than that. Yeah, it's working for me, Mark. Maybe refresh. But yeah, I was looking at the Bucks and the Knicks offensive and defensive ratings over here. Also found that the Bucks are 5-0 to their first half team total under, I think it was, when they are playing on the road. So let's see real quick. Because I know, let's see. Let me just make sure it's still working. Yeah, it's still working. Yeah, Bucks are 8-0 to their first half team total under, but the number was 54.5, which is why I didn't mention it on the show. But I found that, through the Moneyballer. So yeah, it's working for me. Maybe refresh, Mark. Try a new web browser. Let's see. Phoenix plus 15.5. No way. With even Thunder, I'm laying that many points on the Cup games. Suns have been scrappy. That's a fact. They have, absolutely. All right, let's move over to the next one. I think it's 2 more I wanted to go through. One or 2 more. Suns and Nuggets. I'm sorry, Spurs and Nuggets. So Spurs and Nuggets, we start with the injury report. For the Spurs, they will continue to be without, I want to make sure I got it right. Yeah, no Castle and no Wemby. The Denver Nuggets will continue to be without Christian Braun, Aaron Gordon, Julian Strawther. So they are up, adding players like Spencer Jones and Peyton Watson to the starting lineup. Man, I did a lot of work on trying to find a way to fade Peyton Watson in this game, but I don't think I'm gonna get there. Points and assists I was looking at, his usage is just a little too high for my liking. So anyway, we get to the game. I wrote down last night that the San Antonio Spurs were getting, what was it, 9.5, and then the line has it's come down to 8.5. So San Antonio's been taking money. Total open 235.5. Looked like it's up to 237. Even though I saw 237 initially, I think it got bet down, and now it's getting bet back up to 237.5. So San Antonio is coming off win as a dog. They beat the Portland Trail Blazers in their most recent game. Third straight road game for them. Back-to-back unders. 5 of their last 6 games have actually stayed under the total on the San Antonio Spurs side of things. And then the Denver Nuggets have the rest advantage. First leg of back-to-back. I mentioned they play in Phoenix tomorrow. Do we trust the Spurs? Do we trust this version of the Denver Nuggets without Aaron Gordon, without Christian Braun, against that version of the San Antonio Spurs without without Stephon Castle and without Wemby? I think is what you got to ask yourself. When you think about cup play, both teams are 2-1, and then neck and neck in cup play. Denver is a plus 26. San Antonio is a plus 23 as far as cup play goes. It's a lot of implications in this game, man. I kind of feel like I kind of feel like I don't want to lay this big of a number with Denver. I automatically lean towards San Antonio. Do you just bet Jokic triple double and call it a day? I think the under in this game is a little appealing to me as well. I think San Antonio defensively has been, I mentioned it already, been pretty good though. 5 of their last 6 games have actually stayed under the number. Denver's offense, not necessarily going to take a step back because they still got Nikola Jokic out there. But I don't know. I don't think I still want to bet under. It's a little bit too scary for me because Denver may not, play with the defensive intensity that they can play with. Given that they got a game tomorrow in Phoenix. So I think I'm gonna stay off of it. I just really don't want to trust San Antonio's offense on the road when they're playing against a high caliber team. I kind of think even though the Nuggets have looked poor in some of their recent games, I really want to not trust the Spurs to be able to score the basketball. We look at them in road games. Their games are averaging 228 points. Back-to-back unders in road games as well against the Suns, against the Trailblazers. We look at the Nuggets at home. 5-3 to the over. Back-to-back overs for them. Just really bad losses too to the Bulls they lost that game outright to the Bulls. The Bulls were coming off the loss to the Utah Jazz on the second leg of a back-to-back off double overtime, and then they lost to the Kings as well. They did go to Memphis. Memphis is not that great in my opinion. So I kind of want to take I guess I'm saying all that to say that it's San Antonio plus the points for me and nothing in this game. 8.5 is a lot, especially in a cup game. I kind of wanted to get there with the under too. So San Antonio under, maybe San Antonio team total under. Those would be the ways that I would look in this game. Let's see what you guys are thinking here. Texas Pistons minus 2.5. Nuggets on the money line. Lock of the day. No such thing as a lock, Zach. Can tell you're new here. Let's see. I like the Spurs here. I think the Spurs money line is good value too. Trevor says leftovers are hitting. Nuggets are not losing at home with the Joker. Who's going to guard him? Luke Cornett definitely not stopping him. That's a fact. He's not. Not sure what we're doing with the Nuggets money line though. That's what you like. You hope you putting that with something. Okay, watch this. Is Harper over 10.5 points too low for a hooper like that? In my opinion, that's what JaXon like, right? I told you guys JaXon like Dylan Harper in this game over his points plus rebounds at 13.5. It might not be the worst look, especially with him. He'll have the minutes since Castle, is not gonna play, and it's his second game back now after getting a nice start the other day against Portland, and then some rest in between as well. So I think that's the way that I would look in that game. As far as the other games that I didn't touch on, let's see what I didn't touch on real quick. Washington, Indiana. Man, I can't lay 6.5 points with the Indiana Pacers. They did take care of us and get us paid, against the Toronto Raptors, but they were getting double digits in that game. The Wizards are not great by any stretch of the imagination, in my opinion. But I don't like that Indiana also has Nembhard listed as questionable now, and he had played in that last game. Still going to be shorthanded. I kind of want the Pacers when they're not, when they're getting, close to double digits against some of these better teams. I don't really want to lay this big of a number, but I'm also definitely not going to be looking towards the Washington Wizards, especially after playing such a historical game for them against the Atlanta Hawks in their most recent game. But Washington does have the rest advantage. Indiana's playing first leg of back-to-back. Both teams are eliminated from cup play. I consider the Wizards team total under or the full game under. 239 is a lot of points. The Wizards defense has been absolutely atrocious, but this number is a little too high in my opinion. So I consider the Wizards team total under. I'm not betting that game. Next game, Chicago and Charlotte. This is another game I'm staying very, very far away from. Look like Chicago open laying 3.5 points on the road in Charlotte. It's come down to 2.5 with the way that the Charlotte. So you got Kobe White listed as questionable. Isaac Okoro listed as doubtful, and Vucevic listed as questionable in this game as well. It's just a gross game. Terry's listed as questionable. Patrick Williams is questionable. Zach Collins is out. Kevin Huerter is questionable. Like, I don't really want too much to do with that game. Charlotte has looked. Chicago looked absolutely pathetic in their last game as well. They lost to the Pelicans. It's first leg of a back-to-back. They got a game against the Pacers tomorrow. 4 straight non-coverage for them. 6 of their last 7 they haven't covered. So Chicago's kind of reverting back to not playing a lot of defense, giving up a ton of points. And then I really don't want anything to do with Charlotte. First leg of back-to-back for them as well. They got Toronto coming in. They've lost 7 in a row. I think they've only won 1 of their last 10 games. There's no cup implications in this game. LaMelo looked actually absolutely atrocious in the last game against the Knicks. I think they scored 101 points on a Wednesday night in Charlotte against the Knicks. Like, they never even showed up for that game. At least LaMelo didn't. So I don't really want to touch Charlotte either. Not a game that I feel like I even know what's going to happen just based on the way that these two teams are playing right now. Next one was Philly and Brooklyn. Let me just double check the injury report real quick. I think I got it right, but I just want to double check. I know Michael Porter Jr. is out. Yeah, so Michael Porter Jr. is out. No Cam Thomas. Hayward Highsmith is out. And then on the Philly side of things, Bonner is supposed to be back. He's listed as probable, but there's no VJ Edgecombe. There's no Kelly Oubre Jr. There's no Joel Embiid. Paul George is listed as questionable. Philly, playing well rested. They haven't played since Monday, I think it was. Brooklyn, or was that Tuesday? Monday or Tuesday. Brooklyn also pretty well rested. They have double-digit in-season revenge. Philly won the first game by 24. Game went over to 233. This is the first leg of a back-to-back for the Brooklyn Nets. They play in Milwaukee tomorrow. Something to take into consideration. No cup implications, of course, for this game. I don't think either one of these teams even won a cup game. And then I don't know. The more I thought about the game, the total has come all the way down. This was at 228.5 when I wrote it down. It's all the way down to 222.5. It looks like on a couple books. I mean, without Michael Porter Jr., without Cam Thomas, I don't think you really complicated too much. I think Philly should be able to score the basketball. I don't think Philly's going to play a lot of defense. You just wonder if Brooklyn should be able to keep up. So I told you guys on Wednesday, I mentioned, with Philly being blown out the way that they were in that last game, I kind of wanted to bet on them early in the next game. So Philly team total first quarter, I think it's one of the better first quarter teams in the NBA. Their first quarter team total, I think, is 30.5, 31.5. As long as they didn't eat too much turkey last night, they don't come out here, BSing around with the Brooklyn Nets. They should be able to score, 32 points, 33 points. I think they still got enough with Quentin Grimes and Justin Edwards, especially if Paul George come back, who's actually looked surprisingly competent, in my opinion. Paul George, caught a lot of slack for, missing all that time due to the injury. But since he's been back, at least when I've watched him play, he's looked pretty good. So I would kind of want to play on Philly, maybe even just Tyrese Maxey. Philly early in this game, in my opinion, makes a lot of sense, though. Brooklyn team total, I just don't trust Philly defensively, but Brooklyn team total, I think it was 109.5 yesterday when the news first got announced that Michael Porter Jr. is going to miss this game. They should struggle to get to that many points, in my opinion. All right, so that's that one. And then San Antonio, Denver, I did that. Phoenix, OKC, did that. Sacramento, Utah. So, man, you talk about a game that you just skip. I think it's interesting, though. So real quick, I just want to check the injury report. So Sacramento has Schroeder is listed as questionable. Of course, there's no Sabonis. Utah has Gorgeous Niang listed as out. So they'll be at full strength because Niang hasn't played in a while anyway. So you have Sacramento playing, let's see, Sacramento coming off, I think, their third straight home game, I'm sorry. And they're 7-3 to the under in their last 10 games. The Utah Jazz, few days of rest, in-season revenge, 4 straight losses. They're 7-2 to the over in their home games. And Sacramento's owned them. They won 9 of the last 10 head-to-head meetings. And now you got the Utah Jazz. Actually, money coming in on Utah. They open 1-point favorites. I see them up to 2 on Circa. I don't want Utah as a favorite ever. But, can they be the right side in this game? Absolutely. I think that they're better than Sacramento, especially at home. I think this is the third time that they played. Sacramento actually won, but didn't cover it in Sacramento. Then Utah smoked them in that last game that was in Utah. I think Utah can win this game. And if you like Utah, I think you want to bet them early, right? So even if they start to tank, late in the game, sometimes it's hard for them to close games. I think their starting 5 is better than Sacramento's starting 5, in my opinion. And that's even with, Keegan Murray being back. I think the best play, honestly, may just be, probably a look towards Utah team total early. The number I think is 29.5. And we talked about this on the show religiously. They averaged 37 points, still averaged 37 points in the first quarter. So Sacramento doesn't scare me at all defensively. So Utah team total first quarter over. Utah against the spread first quarter over. Will be the ways that I would bet in this game. I get in and get out. It's a 9:30 game. I don't want to watch Sacramento play Utah anyway. So if I'm betting it early. That's the way I'm thinking about that game. And then the only other one that I didn't, well, two more that I didn't touch on was Memphis and the Clippers. So Memphis still shorthanded. All the guys are out. Ty Jerome, Brandon Clark, Ja Morant, Scottie Pippen Jr., and Javon Small. And then the Clippers side of things, Bogdanovich is out. They will be without Derrick Jones Jr. and Jordan Miller for quite a while. The Clippers have been atrocious, man. Like laying this many points with the Clippers is not something I want to do with my money. I don't really trust Memphis either. I know Memphis had, been playing well in a couple games, but I don't really trust Memphis either. They're coming off an overtime game, second straight road game. They have won and covered 3 of their last 4, so they have been playing a little bit better recently. The Clippers have the rest advantage in this spot. They've been off since Monday. It is the first leg of a back-to-back. But it's also for the Clippers, I guess you could say first game back home after a 7-game road trip. Granted, they were in LA in their last game when they played against the Lakers, but as far as like being back home, playing in their home, home in front of their home crowd, first game back home off the 7 straight road games, back-to-back non-covers. They have won 6 straight against Memphis though, and 8 of the last 10. So I don't know, maybe just a look towards Ja, Kawhi, somebody like that. Both teams are like still in the wild card too, as far as like cup play goes. Memphis is 2-1, Clippers 2-1, Memphis a +9. Clippers are a -15, so they would definitely need to win this game to propel themselves over the Memphis Grizzlies. But they haven't officially been eliminated. Neither one of these teams have been eliminated from cup play. I don't think I can lay this big of a number with the Clippers, but I guess eventually they'll get right. I just kind of need to see it. I think they'll be happy with a 4-point win or a 5-point win. But then again, I don't really want to bet on Memphis either. So I also thought about this game and just looking at some of the numbers, Jaren Jackson Jr. has been really struggling this season. I actually want to pull this up so you guys can see this real quick. And then I'll go through the last game. But this is something that's on my short list for today as well. Let's see. Jaren Jackson Jr., points, rebound, points plus assists under 23.5 is something that I considered. Not sure if I'll bet it, but it just kind of makes sense to me. So if we look at Jaren Jackson Jr., I'm back on Outlier, of course. We look at Jaren Jackson Jr. today. His points plus assists are listed at 23.5. And look at all that red. Dude's only over in 2 of his last 8 games. 2 of his last 10 games. You can see he's averaging right at 21. So for him to get to 24, I feel like that's a little bit of a stretch. We know he gets in foul trouble a little bit more. It's not like the Clippers are playing great defense. But if we zoom out, look at the whole season, he's only hit the over in 2 of his 17 games so far this season. So this was something that I thought was pretty interesting. We come down here. We can see that in his last 10, he's only shooting 42% from the field, only shooting 36% from the 3-point line. I think he could potentially, stay under in this game as well. So that's something that I put on my short list. Did not play it, but I'll add it to the short list so you guys can see it as well. If that makes sense to you, like it does to me. Only other game was Dallas and LA, and line opened 11 with the Lakers laying 11. It's down to 10.5 now. Total hasn't really moved a lot. 230.5 is what I see right now. You got, all the revenge angles. We'll see what happens with the injury report as far as on the Dallas side of things. Right now, I know AD said he wanted to play against the Lakers. We'll see. He's listed as questionable, as he has been for, it feels like, forever. The Lakers haven't had to travel at all. I mean, is it? I would like. These are the games where I say, you know what? Like, this is where you gotta take the dog. This is where you gotta take the road dog at that. Lakers been at the crib. They beat the Clippers, coming back home off that game, off that road trip. So it should be, easy spot for the Lakers. I never feel comfortable laying this many points with the Lakers, man. Dallas is not it for me. But laying this big of a number, like, I don't know. I know they will get Aiden back. Marcus Smart's listed as questionable as well. Aiden is listed as probable. Dallas has the rest advantage. First leg of a back-to-back. They got a game against the Clippers tomorrow. Lakers also well rested. Second straight home game. Second of a 4-game homestand. No look ahead spot. They got the Pelicans up next. But the Lakers already wrapped up Group B. And Dallas has nothing to play for in this group when you think about it from a cup perspective as well. You really just think about Luka versus old team. And I don't even know how much it matters anymore now that, Dallas is, gotten rid of Nico Harrison. But I don't know. He look over there. Maybe he see, like a bull that sees red. Luka will try to go off against his old team. And then on the Dallas side of things, if AD does play, like we don't really got nobody that can slow him down, but AD can slow himself down. Hasn't played in quite a while. I think he's missed 73% of his games for the Dallas Mavericks since he's got traded so far. I read that number somewhere the other day. So I don't really know what to do with this game, but I do think you need to wait and see if AD plays though. All right, I'm gonna try to go through these comments real quick and then give you guys a recap of what I'm looking at as well. Let's see. Lo says I like the under playing in this coming off Thanksgiving. I'm not sure which game that was. Shout out to JaXon. If Garland suits up tonight, I'm taking Cavs. He is listed as out. MMTT7. Darius Garland is not even listed as questionable for this game. Oh no, yes he is. Darius Garland's in. I'm tripping. Yeah, he's supposed to play. My fault. I don't know why I thought it's not Darius Garland. It's Dean Wade is listed as questionable. Max Strus is out. Let's see. I don't think CJ gonna keep scoring either. I was reading that he said something about like playing with his sons and reading his daughter books or something like that. And he said he knew it was gonna be a big game. I don't think he can keep it up. But then again, I would need to see, how the Pacers do against transition because that's where he get a lot of his points, and also how they got the 3-point line. Pacers first quarter -1.5 is a good look. Dom says the Wizards, if they play good, it's typically in the first quarter. So I don't really like fading them early. And I don't really want to lay with the Pacers. I don't want to lay nothing with the Pacers. Mark says, agree. Chicago been janky. Been Jekyll and Hyde recently. That's a fact. 77 figure says Spurs plus the 8.5. Fox been cooking. He has been cooking. Philly is playing the injury manipulation game too much. 76 is laying 7.5. They are laying 7.5. Malik says, I'm not even touching the Bulls game. Brian says Lakers Mavericks, Luka over 32.5, over 7.5 assists. Lakers team total over. Paul George, man, he's always questionable. Retired, man. It's silly. You can't retire because then you don't get paid no more. 37 figures. He says Maxey will ball out. I think I can see that as well. Jazz team total oversaturated says. Yeah, I mean, I'm not betting the under, not against the Kings defense. Not against the Kings defense. You just wonder, Sacramento, of course. I mean, Utah, of course, is a terrible defensive team. Real quick, let me go to that game. Utah is a terrible defensive team. Let's see. So on this season, Utah is 26th in defensive rating. So they're bottom 5 defensive rated team. If we look at them at home, though, they are 27th. So defensively, they still suck. The only thing that's different between the Utah Jazz home versus road is their offensive rating. Their offense is so much better at home. They're the 7th best offensive rated team, which is why their overs are 78%. The Kings defensive rating on the road is 27th as well. So I don't know. I thought this total was a little too high. Looks like about 233 points are scored in Kings games on the road. The Jazz at home, though, those games are 141 for the most part, which this total is only going up 242 right now. So you would need, the Kings to play fast, which they don't. They're 18th in pace on the road. The Jazz are top 10 in pace at home. They are 9th. So take with that information, do what you want. Kings are 8-2 to the first half over when they're playing on the road, and the Jazz are 7-2 to the first half over and full game over, excuse me, when they're playing at home this season. So could be a first half over spot as well. Somebody should be able to get busy for the Kings. I just really don't like the Kings offense. It's not great in my opinion, but we'll see what Zach LaVine brings. We'll see what DeMar DeRozan brings, what Keegan Murray brings, what Westbrook brings. We shall see, man. Memphis plus 6.5. Clippers not beating anybody by 6.5 come the fourth quarter, Brian says. Okay. Mark says he played Memphis plus 6.5. Bad spot for the Clippers. What Memphis score record coming off as favorite now? They're dogs. What's Memphis record coming off as a favorite and now they're dog? This season, probably ain't even happened that many times. Let's see. Grizzlies, previous dog, and now their favorite. Coming off as a favorite, now their dog. I wrote that wrong. 0-4. 0-4 straight up, 0-4 against the number, LJ. So they have been getting smoked in this spot. Lost to the Warriors by 13. They were getting 8.5. Lost to the Lakers by 5. They were getting 1. 1.5. Lost to the Thunder by 14. They were getting 10.5. And then lost to the Nuggets by 10. They were getting 6.5. So they have not covered this spot at all. 0-4 straight up, 0-4 against the number. Average margin of defeat is 10 points, LJ. That's actually a trend that backs the Clippers in this spot. Okay, watch this. Clippers not a real NBA team. Jazz money line too. I'm gonna fade the Kings. I don't think it's a bad idea, man. If you want a sweaty bet, just bet the Jazz. Everybody, in my opinion, I feel like are better than the Kings. I know the Kings got a couple wins as double-digit dogs in their last game as well, but it's not a team I'm betting my money on consistently, man. Pistons bounce back after their loss. I agree with that, Maurice. We shall see what happens, though. Trevor says Luka triple-double or 40 points. P says Luka 50 points. He's always great in motivational spots. Jared McCain over 12.5 for Jalen. My bad, Chris. I forgot to say I like the under for the Spurs Nuggets game. Yeah, I think that game goes under as well, Lowe's. I do, man. It's hard to quantify it. I just don't think about the Spurs offense being that great. I know De'Aaron Fox is good, but then again, Denver was a top 5 defensive rated team before all the injuries. So we shall see, man. We shall see. We'll see if those other guys can put up that same type of defensive intensity. Jazz put up points at home. They absolutely do. Don't forget to check Okongwu threes. I want to ladder him. All right, so let's look at Okongwu threes real quick. I'm not gonna pull this back up on the show, just because for time purposes. But I'll look at this real quick. I appreciate you guys for tapping in too, man. Hit the like button while I'm looking this up real quick. All right, so let's look at Onyeka Okongwu threes. I don't even see it listed. Let's see. Atlanta. It should be listed, right? Onyeka Okongwu. Oh yeah, it's listed. So 1.5. Oh, damn. Onyeka Okongwu been balling. He's hit at least 2 threes in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 straight games. Now he gets a Cleveland defense. I know Cleveland ain't good against the 3-point defense. They are giving up the 5th fewest attempts allowed. They rank 7th against his position, but they're 27th against the spot up, and that's where he gets 34% of his points from. So against that above the break 3, he gets 26% of his points there. They rank 9th, and then he gets a few 10 and 7% from the two corner 3-point shots as well. So yeah, I would take Okongwu. I see it looks like the best number you could get is over 1.5, and it's plus money. I think he'll play big minutes. Let me just check the head-to-head. He only had 1 the last time that they played. He shot 1 for 2. So you just need him to take more attempts than that. And I think that he'll get him in this spot. So I agree with this look by you, Adam. If I'm playing Okongwu, I'm taking the over as well. All right, let's see. Dom says, don't know if you saw that video of the Kings super fan calling Levine out for not playing defense. I did see that. I did see that. Yeah, that was funny. He dude said he drive an hour and a half to the game and an hour and a half back just to watch the Kings play. And I thought to myself, man, you overcommitted. You are overcommitted. I thought about when I drive an hour and a half to see the Wizards play. And I know he said it's about community and connection. And I get all that. And I'm all about community and connection. I'm very connected in my community, but not for the Wizards. Not for the, and I wouldn't do it for the Kings either. Not for the Kings. I did see that though, Dons. Let's see. First half over might be the way. Yeah, I agree with that, Saturated. I know you're talking about that. The Utah and Sacramento game. I agree with that. What up? She says, "Hey Chris, what do you use to find that info?" Good morning. What info? She like let me know what info you're talking about. I got a lot of different sources, a lot of different tabs. I'm looking left, I'm looking right. Y'all can see it in my eyes. I'm looking everywhere. What do you think about Devin Booker under? I like it. I like the Devin Booker look. I'm probably going to end up playing it under some way, somehow. No, I don't even know who played for UConn or Illinois. Malik says for the Sacramento Bulls. Yeah, that's about right. It's about right. Yeah, he a season ticket holder, Saturated. He a season ticket holder. They got season tickets that he drive an hour and a half to the Sacramento Kings game, hour and a half back every single day. That's a super fan for sure. Yeah, he is from Brooklyn. Yep. He did say he was from Brooklyn. It's no way possible, bro. No way possible. Any AAA says Hornets or Bulls, who you got? Go get a scratch off, my brother. Get a scratch off, man. I have no idea what to do with that game. All right, so let's update the actual list. So I added a couple things, but there were more that we talked about. I do like Detroit today, though. I think they get the job done against Orlando. I know that the line's is moving down. It's coming against me, and this shouldn't be because I haven't bet this. I haven't bet either one of these. And if you guys are new to the show, all the red plays are all the red plays are plays that I like. I don't have any currency on them though. So I didn't make a bet yet today, but if I am betting that first game, I do like Detroit minus the 2.5. It looks like it's still available on ESPN bet minus 115. I know it's not the greatest spot, but I think they get the job done. I think Miami probably gets them back tomorrow. Philly first quarter team total over. I think I'm gonna stay away from Cleveland, Atlanta. Probably won't bet anything in that game. But the Jalen Tyson look, I think, is a nice one. Washington, Indiana, nothing. Milwaukee, New York, not a game that I want to play. Kind of lean towards the under. I told you guys that we'd be getting the worst of the number now. If Giannis gets rolled in, the total should go back up. Maybe then we could take an under. Giannis maybe look a little rusty. He hasn't played in about a week and a half, I feel like. Chicago, Charlotte, scratch off game. Philly, Brooklyn. Philly first quarter team total over. I put that here. You guys can see that. I think that they can come out, especially after getting throttled. They lost that last game by 40. San Antonio, Denver, I do lean towards San Antonio plus the points, and I lean towards the under 237.5 in that game. I should be writing some of these down. So San Antonio plus 8.5. The Dylan Harper look, I think, is a really good one as well that JaXon mentioned. Phoenix and OKC. I like the Devin Booker look. I do like the Devin Booker under his 24.5 points. And then it would also be a look towards the full game. You know what? Honestly, I hate betting unders this early in the season. I'm not touching no unders in that game. Sacramento, Utah first quarter. Team total over. I don't even want them. They might give up 42. I don't even want them against the spread. If I'm betting Utah, I'm just taking their team total over. And let me just get you guys the best number real quick. Uh, 31.5. It's a high number. It's really high, but it's high for a reason. No juice attached. It's minus 102 on BetMGM right now. Whereas ESPN Bet got us minus 120. And that's why you get odds, James. So you can save yourself some coins. That's a lot. That's a big difference. And then let's see, what else was it? What other games were we on? Memphis and the Clippers. It'd probably be Memphis by default, actually. Jared Jackson Jr. under. We talked about his points and assists at under 23.5. Clippers gonna get right eventually, man. I just don't know when it's gonna be. Dallas and Lakers, nothing for me on that game either. Kind of lean over. I feel like Laker games at the crib just go over in general. I think they are. Is it 6-2 to the over now, or 6-3? When they're laying 9.5 points or more at the crib. Lakers as home favorites are double-digit home favorites, just 1-0. So they've only been laying double digits in that last game against the Jazz, and they got the cover. But at home so far this season, Lakers are 7-0. 7-0 to the over in their home games. Games are averaging 242 points. So you got a 12.5 point margin. And a couple of these games had a lower total than this 230 Mavericks game. Actually, most of them did. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 of them had a total that was below today's total, and they all went over the number. They're going over by average of 12 points. Average total is 229, which is right where this total is at 230.5. And now they're going over by 12 points. Lakers have Lakers been cooking at the crib, man. They've gone over their team total in 5 of the 7 games. They're 5-2 against the number. They're only winning by about 6 points per game. So actually more like 5 points per game. So they have covered 4 straight though. Well rested, 2 days. Mavs, 3 days of rest. Don't play again until Sunday against the Pelicans. No look ahead spot there. Yeah, I think I'd be playing over if I had to bet that game, but I'm probably gonna stay away from it. All right, so those are my thoughts on the game. Long show. Resources all listed in the description of the video. Check it out if y'all have not. JaXon, Outlier, Moneyballer, Odds Jam. Hit the like button for me on the way out. Subscribe to the channel. Turn the notification bell on, and we'll be back tomorrow. I think it's about 8 games tomorrow. So 8 games tomorrow. A lot of teams playing first leg of back-to-backs, which means these lines are going to change tomorrow, overnight. So make sure you guys are watching the game so you know what happens. Enjoy the Black Friday, and I'll catch you guys in the next one, man. I'm out.